Hey there, episode 3.
All right, yeah.
All right,
Says we're good.
awesome. So we are recording. You didn't just do that for nothing.
I don't know if it picked up your first.
Ah,
Woo!
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nope.
Nope. Didn't get it.
Oh, actually,
It did. Well, I didn't snap because I didn't want to mess with our audio. But I did the point
Nope.
gesture.
nope. It didn't.
Nope.
It didn't catch you.
Well,
Sorry.
crap. Okay. Well, you guys just got a quick rundown of what you
We're in the
missed.
green this time though, so that's good.
Awesome.
So I'm guessing poor video quality is the answer to our awesome.
Make it
Audio.
look bad and it sounds great. That's the key. that
So-
we just figured.
So that actually makes a really good point that I kind of wanted to talk about today.
Right.
So you know how when you're transitioning through life and you're trying to learn something new,
Right.
you usually have to give something up in order to concentrate more in that one area.
Right. Yeah, I get where you're saying from. You can only focus so much attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do any classes while you were in the army?
Like what kind of classes?
Did you go to what is for sergeant?
Oh, any of those?
Yeah, NCO training.
No, I didn't. Personally, I was never in the position where I felt like I was ready to be an NCO. I got out at 22, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, everything else was pretty
Well,
much
usually
mandatory
like
stuff.
after a year of being
I got grenade training.
every-
got the
every-
cool new
everyone-
high-speed grenade launcher, 320. But yeah, I don't think that counts.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Fuck, I want a grenade launcher.
that was so.
I want a
fucking
grenade
awesome.
launcher now.
No,
I
it
want
was-
I want one of those fucking paint launchers. Did
Look-
you ever do American Weapons and go out to the field where you got to shoot the 50 cal and the little 302?
You're talking about the one that's attached to the underside of the
Yeah.
barrel. That's the 203.
203.
The 320, which is the new system, can be slung under the barrel, but it can also come off to be standalone as a pop-out handle and a freaking and a shoulder rest, so you can fire it alone without the other weapon, depending on what you need.
Oh.
Like, for example, if you're on patrol, you're going to be out there for a while, you could pop it off, leave it in the vehicle, go off, or whatever, or maybe whatever the situation requires. You don't need all that extra hassle. You can pop it off, stand alone. Super cool that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, what I was getting at is like so we'll compare it to basic training then. So
All right.
So you had to give up your life basically. You had no life for 3 months.
Yes.
3 to 4 months.
Are we limiting this to 3 months? I've had no life for a while now.
I'm talking about when you're going through training and you're
yes.
giving something up because you technically you do have a life. You get out of work and you go home and you do the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
That are legal and don't really cost too much. But-
most of those things.
Because I've been going through this awful stage where okay, I just finished my last math class for my associates.
Right.
And this past couple months I've been doing absolutely nothing with my life. I've been skipping, trying to go down to the park and skate and stuff because I wanted to stay in, concentrate, and actually learn this math.
Yep.
Because the more I look into programming, the more I'm like, I need to know this stuff.
Oh yeah.
I
It's
need
a great
to know
field
this
to be
stuff
in.
right now. And then I look back at when I was in high school trying to just pass regular old math,
classes.
which people take pre-calc in high school now, and I'm
Yeah.
like fuck, how did I miss this? And I was
I mean-
like, I dropped out. I went to BOCES. I got my GED and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I didn't retain any of it, but I did pre-calc, like back in high school and stuff, and so I've got an idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's a mess.
Stuff crazy.
It's an absolute mess. My biggest problem was learning the unit circle. I didn't know the unit circle,
Yeah.
and
we talked about
our teacher didn't show us.
right, because they figured
Yeah.
this is
They already
common
know this.
knowledge at
They-
this
They
point,
know
yeah.
that they have to memorize the unit circle. I mean, what the fuck is
I mean-
pi? But so I went into it with basically no knowledge because I just took 2 years off from
Right.
college and I never finished because I had that one math class and I was like, fuck that. Before I was getting fucking trashed and everything, and I'm like, fuck this. I don't need to know this to work in a factory.
Yeah.
And now 2 years being in a factory, I'm like, fuck, I want to know that so I don't have to work in this
Yeah.
bitch. So So I've done nothing, and it fucking kills me each time. And then I find myself like trying to justify doing something else, and
Okay.
it's such a mind fuck to yourself. And I'm starting to actually
Well, what do you mean when you say doing something else?
like I want to justify sitting on the couch and just fucking binge
Okay.
watching
Okay, yeah, basically like
TV, you know?
just recreational stuff. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
normal
And
things like
and
eating yourself into a food coma and watching TV all day.
and on the other hand, I've done the polar opposite where I'm trying to learn one thing, but then I distract myself with another thing.
Okay.
So I've been trying to learn like HTML5 and Java, and then as the more I learned about those is like, oh, you should probably learn Python first. So then I'm like, fuck, I gotta backtrack. I gotta learn this first, and then I'll learn this. In general, it will help me out to learn Python first, but
Right.
and it's kind of cool. I really like it. So they have this little project right in the beginning of the book that it's a general project that most programs use for a first project. It's
Okay.
called Hello World, and it's where you make the code display Hello World on whatever you're running.
Okay.
Like with Python, it's a console window. Like when you click on Amazon on your desktop, the Amazon window pops up. That's
Right.
that's the console window for that app.
Right.
So all that code plays in that one window. Same with like HTML and Java. When you run those, the console window is your browser. So it just felt awesome right away. As soon as that text came up in that little console window, I'm like, oh fuck, this is fucking awesome.
I'm
I
a
can make
hacker.
it. I can make it do shit. I can make this fucking work.
Yeah.
So now I'm in chapter 3, and I'm working pretty steady on that. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck, man, I need to go to the gym. I gotta go to the gym fucking now. I need to start back on a regiment because I gave up a lot when I was going through that math class
Yeah.
because I really wanted to learn the the general basis of like cosine and sine and tangent and like all their identities and all the formulas for it because I
Right.
I will need to know some of those things
For the
for
coding.
for coding because I was looking at I watch a few like Java tutorials on how to set stuff up, and there's this weird one. I'll have to show you another time, but
All right.
it basically shows whenever you're working with a formula that breaks down into an infinity, it actually shows you like where those infinite sets go. And
Okay.
they
As
got
someone who
this like
doesn't know coding, what do you mean when it goes into infinity? Like, I
you
mean,
know, it's hard to explain. Like when a function can be um 1 divided by something, and that can just keep dividing and dividing and dividing,
okay, so it's
and you
just a
just get
recurring
you get
function,
you get a longer decimal point, you know what I mean?
like
And it
pi
keeps
in a
going.
sense.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, pi's infinite, isn't it? I'm
Yes.
pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it shows you like at 1 divided by pi, and it goes like infinitely down. It's cool. I'll have to give you the correct name for it,
All right.
but it's really intriguing. Um, but that's what I've been doing. Like I'm fucking dying. oh, oh man.
No, honestly, like mine's I mean maybe not as cool as coding and stuff,
Yeah.
but like I had working over at where I'm working at now, working with plastics and everything. I never thought I'd say this. Plastics are really freaking interesting. No, for real.
Well, when you spend enough time learning things, like yeah, they do become very interesting. Like we work with jet pumps, and now I'm just like, oh yeah, I know how a pump works, and people are like, fucking magic, move water from one place to another.
It's science, bitch. I don't
Like,
have to explain shit.
and like whenever someone says like, the propeller, I'm like, that's an
That's not
impeller. Like
That's not how that works.
I have like a sudden
Yeah.
Down syndrome moment.
No, I definitely have those moments where like I'll be talking to my family or my girlfriend or something. Oh, how was your day? And part of me wants to be like, yeah, no, it's fine, okay. And the other part of me says, explain everything. Tell her exactly how this. And then that's just a big old rabbit hole. We'd be like, okay, well, this happened, this happened. Well, what's that? I'm glad you asked.
That's
It's
funny.
like, and then you end up having to explain the entire process of molding plastics.
Yeah. I that happens to me with my mother. Um we were riding to to Lowe's, and she's like, What do you need at Lowe's?" And I'm like, "Well, I kind of want to find an RGB um LED strip so I can program it with my Raspberry Pi." And
Okay.
she's like, "Raspberry Pi?"
That was honestly the first thing I thought too, but I wasn't gonna say it out loud.
I'm like, "Yes, mother, you can set up circuits with this little computer that costs $35, and you can control the colors on an RGB LED strip."
Circuits and pie.
A pie circus.
But I mean, yeah, you're talking about coding, like you said, to display a certain color or to
Yeah.
alternate or flash off and on.
Yeah, and then you can like send it to a every time I want to call it a transformer, but it's basically a switch
Do you have
that
to buy
controls them.
like specific lights for that? Because or like if you just buy a regular strip, you're usually just getting straight white LEDs, right?
No, so
Oh,
yes, there's just regular white LED strips,
yeah,
and then usually the RGB strips come in there's the
RGB.
there's the
Sorry.
LED, there's the LED that consists of the red, green, and blue, and then right beside it is a little LED that contains just white light.
Okay.
So then on a hmm, I'm pretty sure if you have a regular white LED strip, there's your power and then a data in, I believe, for like dimming and stuff.
Okay.
If you're able to dim that LED strip, but on a RGB LED strip, there's um there's a data signal for red, green, and blue, and then your positive and negative.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't really dove into it just yet. I've just been
It's
watching
like an
videos
upcoming project,
and
essentially.
yeah, grabbing like all the materials that I'm gonna need so I don't have to keep running out while I'm doing it.
Right. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. You're basically running a circuit to um tell those little contacts what value you want in there,
Right.
because I believe it goes from 0 to 255 for the values, and then like if you have
And now are those numbers
it's
just like the
based,
color spectrum that it has
yeah,
available?
yeah,
All right.
and it's based on a hexadecimal system, and there's like 16 values in there, and it's pretty cool.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. So so yeah, what did you want to cover this week?
Honestly, I was kind of firing from the hip here.
Yeah.
I thought of a couple things, nothing really stuck, and just said, you know what, we'll get here, we'll get rolling, see what happens.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm coming to find. Like, I watch the news and I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk to
well,
anybody
most of
about
it,
this. I
well,
don't want to give anyone my opinion
well,
on
a
these
lot of it's
subjects.
just regurgitated BS. It doesn't matter what your news source is.
Yeah,
They're gonna, this is what we want,
like
and this is what we're going to say.
right now we're based with a White House that fucking leaks like a sieve, and we're just like, okay, yeah, the public does need to know these things,
Yeah.
but then again, there is this gray area that it's like, no, the public doesn't need to know this stuff.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and stop just bursting at the seams.
Oh no, I saw this great article. I wish I could remember where it was I found this, but it's basically like, hey, this is South Korea's plan for attacking North Korea. I'm like, thanks, assholes. Just give it away. I mean, it's not like it's news for anyone. Everyone wants to take their ass out, except for maybe China, and they're kind of getting sweaty. So
I don't know. I've seen a few I've seen a few videos on like what North Korea is gonna do, and then like I watched a video
North
the other
Korea is
day.
gonna burn. That's what it's gonna do.
I watched like the options that we have for them, and there's nothing.
The
There's no battle to be won there because it's gonna wind up in a mess. And right now we're just fucking watching the clock. We're watching the
well,
clock until that little fucking
well, for us
bastard's
as
head pops off.
America, we're not gonna lose anything in a war to North Korea. It's our allies in the area that's the issue
Yeah,
because we're actually pretty decent with our allies.
but
We try to look out for their interests too.
then again, that's basically we lose something. We lose allies. We lose allies to actually combat evil in the world.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's not like, okay, you guys go over there and fight for us. We could bomb them to oblivion,
Yeah, but they're
but they
still
will
gonna
fire off. They'll flatten
yeah
South Korea pretty quick.
they'll but South Korea will, or my bad, North Korea will get off a few fucking nukes,
No, that's what I'm
guaranteed.
saying. They're
And
going to flatten South Korea.
they can hit us. There's no fucking way that they can't hit us.
Oh, okay. Theoretically, they can hit us, but are you telling us we have no ability to shoot that crap out of the sky as it's flying over the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah, but the actual success rate of that, I forget what it was. The success rate is kind of slim, and it's like, do we want to risk it? Do we want to try?
These are also the
it?
same people who can't fire a missile out of the Sea of Japan.
I am on the team that says that was fake. That was planned just so they look like fucking retards. So they're like, well,
That's literally the opposite of what everything they're trying to do, though.
I know, but
If anything, the fake thing is he's probably going back home to all of his guys, be like, yes, we struck a powerful blow to the American homeland, North Korean Republic. Ah.
it's like, did that missile explode? Yeah, it hit America. That's how far America is away from us.
Yeah, exactly.
You could fucking
Like,
swim there.
I don't know if you've seen it, but there have been tons of memes online of people saying like, "Hey, North Korea, I'm going to help you out. Here's a map of America." And they'll like pull up like random shit. Like the funniest one I've seen so far is a picture of that area. North Korea is labeled as America, South Korea is Mexico, and China as Canada. It's like, here's a map of America. Go ahead and bomb it.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's hilarious. Wow. Wow.
It's like, hey, North Korea, I'm going to do you a solid. Here's a map.
That's hilarious. I can't believe that.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm stuck on the fact that we're not doing anything. I mean, we are, but we're not. At the same time, we're just kind of like, meh.
well, the par and course for North Korea for a long time has been diplomacy, 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 and because they're the only ones who really want to commit any violence or are really prepared to commit any violence, they get away with a lot of shit. And they do a lot of shit. Freaking what, that dude who was arrested for taking down a propaganda poster and was returned to us brain dead, and he ended up dying. How many
yeah,
other
what
countries do you
happened?
know of that would get away with that?
That's right. He did die, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
They didn't highlight that like they did when he actually got like taken.
Right,
They should have
because
blown that out
they
of proportion
should've, but
versus
nope.
him just getting caught.
Yeah.
Like, Robble, they have one of ours.
They're
we
like,
should
"Hey,
we should strike.
They're releasing one of our guys. Oh, look, he's brain dead and in a coma.
He's
Oh,
fucking
look,
dead.
2 or 3 days over, and days later, he's dead.
Yeah, that's fucking
Cool.
some bullshit.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
No, but seriously, what other countries would get away with that shit? Because we've been so long trying for the diplomatic approach. We're trying to be diplomatic with them. They don't do anything. Because, yeah, they do have a lot of weapons. And they're not going to fuck us up. They're going to fuck up South Korea. They might even fuck up Japan. Those are big friends of ours.
I know it's mostly just me watching too many movies, but I know we have people that can just make people disappear. Why the fuck haven't we made this fat piece of shit disappear yet? Like what the hell? What the hell are we waiting for?
My question about that is, how long would they continue running without him there? Like how long would they fake him being alive?
Yeah, because there's like a whole family kind of tied into it, isn't there?
Well, yeah, I mean it's essentially like it's supposed to be
There's
a
a bunch of 'em.
republic, but it's
Didn't he kill one of his uncles or something like
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he has some he has some inventive ways of killing people. I think he like an ex-girlfriend he killed with a flamethrower. One of his generals he didn't agree
Yeah,
with.
yeah, please, just walk out there.
Yeah, one of his generals that didn't agree with him. They fired a mortar round at him point blank.
Point blank?
Like, I mean, of course they were far enough away, but
Oh,
they
I
just
thought you meant
fired
they
it
just
straight
they
at.
just fucking like
No,
like
well, like of
one
course.
to the dome.
Well, like of course they were far enough away to be out of the blast
Yeah.
radius, but they were like,
I could see
and then
him I could
freaking
see him
machine
going
gun executions.
okay, I want this guy dead, but you're gonna have to die too, okay? Just fire that mortar straight into his chest.
There was one particularly interesting way. I forget who it was. It was some other political dissenter or something that was actually in a pretty powerful position. Was stripped naked and thrown into a cage with 50 starving dogs.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You know, some dogs do scare the shit out of me, but at the same time, like I'm not scared enough to like walk up and like tackle it and play with it.
But we're also
there
talking
wa-
about 15.
There was a rot walking by the other day, and I was like, "Oh, this is bougie."
Dude,
I couldn't help
I got
myself.
bit recently.
Did you really?
Yeah, like I mean, it's healing.
I was
but-
wondering what that
yeah.
was.
No, and it was the stupidest thing. I was talking with someone I recently started talking to down my apartments,
Okay.
and while they were getting picked up, their step-dad, something was there, and he brought their dog along. Big old, good-looking pit. I like pits.
Oh, so
I'm a big fan of pits.
It was a pet.
So I come over. I'm like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And I
What'd
kind
you
of
do to it?
I didn't do anything. Let me get there.
Okay. I'll let you finish.
I put my hand out for like that's the universal with your coming
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
dog. You put your hand
Smell
out,
my
let him
hand.
smell it. He went straight for the bite.
Oh.
Like I mean, you can see it was not a bad bite considering this was a
Was
full
he
size
known?
pit bull.
Was he known for biting or?
They hadn't said anything about it.
Huh.
I mean, they've said he's been protective, and I guess a strange person walking up to the car and
Oh.
everything, sticking their hand in the
Yeah.
window.
Maybe he doesn't like Mexicans.
Fuck off.
Just kidding. Oh, that's
I
great.
mean, and he must not like the way it tastes because he spit me out.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty funny.
But
Like,
no,
no,
like
fuck
and
that.
he gave just
Salty.
enough of nip because I mean he was a big healthy looking pit bull. If he wanted to, he probably could have taken my hand.
Oh,
So it was literally like he just came up. Hey, you want to smell, boy? Okay, fuck that. Nope.
No, thank you. Whole lot of nope.
It's like
I don't
we'll
wanna
try
die
this at
today.
another day.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck that.
Uh,
You know what I hate?
Hmm.
Fucking chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are
Those
just
little bitches.
they're awful. They're awful for you. Like and they poop in the weirdest
I
fucking
hate-
place.
I hate like their bug eyes. Like not all of them have them, but most of them have them. The big old popping bug eyes.
Ah, yeah. I don't.
It's like your head is so
I
misshapen.
really think it's the fact that like we
we
human
inbred the
human
fuck
society
out
has
of
like
'em.
bred the shit out of these animals, and they're just
Yeah.
they're
Like,
becoming weak and stuff.
I wish I could bring. I wish I had this available. To bring this up to you. It was this great kind of comparison, essentially of like common breed dogs
Yeah,
and how they've changed through breeding over the last 100 or so years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see.
And it was like common dogs, like pit bull terrier, German shepherd, and they're way different
Oh
just
yeah.
through selective breeding.
Oh, yeah.
In 100 years, that's crazy.
It's crazy to think that that YouTube stores all of my history, like all of the shit that I watched. Oh, there it is.
Oh, what do you got here?
Mandela. Oh, Mandelbrot set. That's what it's called. It's called the Mandelbrot set. So let me see if I can give
What?
you man
Wait, what are we talking about? What is this?
that infinitely forever thing that I was telling you about.
That was a while ago, dude.
It was, but it was bothering me. It's in the back of
Okay,
my head, and
all
I'm
right.
going, "What the fuck? What? Oh, I just watched like 18 videos on this fucking thing, trying to figure out."
Mandelbrot.
Yeah. It's
Mandelbrot. Yeah.
a particular set of complex numbers that has a highly
Convoluted.
factorial boundary when plotted.
So something simple like that.
Yeah, something simple. So this
Oh,
is
those
the
are
Mandelbrot set. Okay.
Oh my god, those look like amazing
So
posters.
anyone watching this, just go and check out Mandelbrot zooms.
Mandelbrot.
Yeah.
Mandelbrot.
It's actually really intriguing, and so this goes infinitely deep.
Dude,
So
these look like
inside
the best hippie posters ever.
Oh yeah, but the fact of the matter is it's all math. It's all fucking math.
It's all math, baby.
It's all math.
I'm sorry.
Mandelbrot set zoom.
I say for some reason that reminded me because not that long ago I restarted watching Breaking Bad, which is like old to everyone now, basically. But I love he had the smoothest pickup line ever for like a nerd, for a straight up nerd, because like they were doing this whole side thing where they're plotting out like all the elements and their percentages in the human body,
Yeah.
and they came up like there's this missing element, and smooth as silk, my man. So the woman says, "Well, what about the human soul making up this missing part?" And he kind of walks up to her. He says, "The soul. There's nothing but chemistry here."
Ooh,
My man,
that's
Walter
funny.
White, smooth as fuck.
That's funny.
That's right.
There ain't nothing but chemistry here. That's funny.
I'm like, woo.
So
Boy.
So back to this, the Mandelbrot set, it can fucking brick your computer. Like it'll just freeze
Jesus
the fucking thing. So if you
Christ.
try to produce like a an
Like
infinite,
if you're coding and you
Yeah.
put in one of these,
and you tried zooming into it, you're just you're gonna fry it. Well, not really, but this is how it works. So the black
it
represents
just never ends.
the black represents where like the function doesn't work, I believe.
Okay.
And then all of these colored parts is
fractals.
where the value equals a certain value,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you code it. It's like if this equals this, then this is blue,
occurs,
and then
yeah.
this is this color and whatnot.
This looks like
And
watching the universe being born.
that's the cool thing about it. Like a lot of people have based this on like, okay, well, we know this in math, so that means maybe the universe is infinitely in size, and it's just cool. Like it just keeps going and going and going, and then that main, bless you,
Man.
bless you. Then that main set, it shows up in like the weirdest spots, like
Yeah.
as you go in.
Well, you got that spiral
Yeah.
going on all over.
So this isn't a like a visual effect or anything. This is an actual
this is the plotted out
Yeah.
mathematical equation.
Yeah. And all of these colors are values that equal that color. I'm pretty sure.
That's just
I think
awesome.
that's what I've gotten out of it so far. And it just keeps going and going and going, and people like amp up their fucking computers just so they can zoom in further. It's fucking insane. And the fucking designs that comes out of this. I mean, it's so random but uniform at the same time, and that's
Right.
what makes it so crazy.
What in the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. Anyone watching this, you have to go check it out. I'm not gonna display anyone else's work
Right,
because
I
I'm
mean-
not completely comfortable with like how that's regulated right now.
And if
So-
you're gonna do
so
this,
we're at 10 to the negative 20th right now.
okay.
That's fucking huge.
And,
And that's
if
where
you
it
have any
shows up again.
recreationals that you're a fan of, this is I would really man.
Ah, shit.
For real though, you
Yeah.
could get lost in this stuff.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine putting this up on like a wall, like a projector?
Oh yeah, a
fuck
projector. But again, like
yeah.
almost any still from this whole thing, you could print out.
Yeah.
It would be the greatest, like I was saying, like the greatest hippie poster ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it'd be the best nerd hippie poster ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Be like, oh, that's really cool design, man. Yeah, that's the Mandelbrot.
That's the Mandelbrot set, bro.
That's
You don't Mandelbrot?
It's like the Mandelbrot is kind of like the universe. It's infinite, man.
Well, that's just your opinion, dude. I keep trying to get myself to go bowling every weekend. Last night I tried getting myself to get off the couch.
We've got to try
go
doing that
bowling.
again sometime when they're not closed for some BS reason.
We should try during the week actually when you have when do you have your days off?
I got I've got tomorrow and Tuesday off.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm probably gonna end up doing
So
something Monday, Tuesday.
You're not alternating weekends now.
No, I am. I
Oh,
am. I work this weekend.
oh, and then
That's why
next
I
weekend
put
you'll
on.
have it off.
Yeah,
No, that gets fucking tough.
yeah.
Like that's weird. We weren't built to like operate like this. Like there's no fucking way. Like I've been getting a lot better
I'll be right
sleep
back. I
lately.
gotta
Yeah, yeah, you're
deal
fine.
with this sinus stuff going on.
Yeah, go
All
for
right,
it. Now
entertain.
I'll try to entertain somehow. So, and this is where the nerves set in. So let's go back to like where we were talking about like giving stuff up to accomplish another task at hand. Like I've been actively going through a certification course for the ACE, the American Council on Exercise. And at the same time I did realize that I needed to finish my 2 year at least get a 2 year and hopefully a transferable 2 year. So that's why I ended up kind of putting the studying for the ACE on hold and really knuckle down on getting math pounded into my head. It was tough. It was tough, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I've already wasted so much time on this. I took days off just to finish up some homework. I was working 50 hours at the same time, and you wouldn't imagine just one class over a 2 month period would really affect you that much, but it did. It it was hard. It was hard, and now that I'm done with it, this past week I've just been lazy. I'm like, fuck. Finally, I have nothing to do. I can just sit around and do nothing, and it's kind of bugging me because I don't like just sitting around and doing nothing. You've lived with me. You know better than anybody that I'm not that great at just sitting down and doing absolutely nothing.
Oh, I don't have never known you to just sit and do nothing. You've
Yeah.
always got a
Yeah.
project or something, which isn't bad.
This past 2 months, like I've been fucking raking myself out. So now like I was just talking about how this past week I've just been fucking I don't want to do anything. I'm just like, man, I don't want to get out of fucking bed. I just want to lay here. I don't got shit to do. I'm not gonna do nothing. You ain't got shit to do but get high. so it's actually been tough this past week to actually like get motivated to do something
Oh yeah.
because now I'm back into the mindset that okay, here in October I'm going to be taking my certification test for the ACE, the American Council on Exercise.
Yeah.
And then hopefully by next year I'll be able to get a job personal training hopefully in Ithaca. I would really like to
That would
wind
be
up in
pretty
Ithaca
nice. Yeah.
just because it's such a nice place.
It is, and
getting
the
your
clientele's there too. Like
yeah,
not like it is out here.
and there's people that stay there all year round, but then you have the
The
excellent
students.
turnaround of students.
Yep.
I don't want to sound awful or anything, but you could, if you're in shape or whatever, just go out to a couple bars. Anybody asks you about it or like talks to you about going to the gym or something, like, yeah, I'm a personal trainer, blah blah.
Because that's
Here's
where
my
that
card.
conversation's going at a bar. Hey, you
Yeah,
look fit. You go to the gym?
yeah,
What's up? Hey, buddy.
yeah. Or just drop in on a pool game, bet you $20 I can fucking hit this girl up.
I thought that was going to take a completely different turn.
No, no, but like there's little easy ways to do that
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
You go to a couple.
Marketing yourself.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot easier when you have when you have people your own age around,
Right.
and you can kind of pick off of
Those
their
college students are going to
insecurities.
be our own age for a very short time now.
Oh well, yeah. No, I'm gonna be hitting 30 in a couple years. So
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
gonna
saying.
be
We're
like,
getting up there.
I'm gonna be like, oh man,
It's
I'm an
gonna
old
start getting to
bastard.
that point where
Just
it's like
arm
you're that
wrestle a bunch
creepy
of
guy.
fucking kids. Be like, dude, you're 22. You just got beat by a 30-year-old. Come on now. Let's not be a puss. Why don't you come down to the gym and I'll teach you how to fucking do something.
I was like, I don't know.
Meanwhile, I'm
You talk
fucking.
like that in Ithaca, and you might might
Well,
have something
no.
going on.
So surprisingly, there's like three. there's three different worlds in Ithaca. There's like the hippie side that you see a little bit, and
Yeah.
then there's actually a lot of straight laced people. Most of them are Asian. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because
I
they
don't
come
know
from
why.
those families.
It's weird.
They
Did I
come
ever
from
tell you
no, they're straight laced because they come from families that set them up for success.
did I ever tell you that about the she was from fuck. I don't want to say Beijing, but for some reason I kind of want to say Beijing. Anyways, she was she was she was an Oriental girl, and I met her on Tinder.
Hey,
so I went and hung out with her
nothing wrong.
a couple times, right? Well, we
Swipe
went out to dinner.
right, left.
We went out to dinner, and then I get a text one night. Actually, it's the night that I got my DWI. I got a text from her. So so I get this text. This is what
Hey.
this is what really fucking kicked off the night, you know, because I'm already like, fuck, dude, I don't know how to deal with anything that's going on right now. And now all of a sudden I get this text that says, we can't see each other anymore, and I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, what? Why?
Bit what?
Because I'm afraid of you. So I'm like, what the fuck? Is she afraid of like rednecks showing up in fucking giant pickup
What's
trucks?
to be afraid of?
Me? Fucking what is
Seriously.
scary about me? What is scary about
Like-
this guy? And she dated a fucking drug dealer before she went out on a date with me.
That is so
she was
stupid.
telling me about
That
it.
is so stupid. Dude, you are like the living embodiment of the dudist philosophy. So for someone
like-
to say they're afraid of you, especially someone who I'm assuming kind of knew you,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
we were
so
talking for
stupid.
like a good month, and I seen her twice, and it was kind of nice, but you know, I didn't do anything.
I'm afraid of you is code language for I'm afraid this is going nowhere.
I don't know. It was awful though. I couldn't believe it.
That is pretty
So-
crappy though.
So then I was just like, well, I'm hanging out.
you know that
I'm-
could never work for a guy. Guy is not going to look at a girl and be
I'm
like,
afraid
"I'm
of
afraid
you."
of you."
I
If it
feel like
actually comes to the moment where he is afraid of her, he's going to be like, "Don't be a pussy. Settle this shit. You got this." So what? She's crazy. You're man. You got
I
this.
could see a little weak kid being like, I'm just afraid of her. I'm so afraid of her.
Well-
I'm afraid of where our life could go
Yeah,
if we were
but-
together for
yeah,
so
but also
long.
think of the couple
Like-
that's involved in that. It's probably going to be a very, assertive woman who some might describe as bitchy, and then what you just described in a relationship together.
Yeah.
That coming together, first off, is like the evil brother of the unicorn that's all terrible shit. So first off, that's terrible and very unlikely to
that
happen.
girl, that relationship was
Like,
built on
she's so-
she wanted someone to manipulate, and
Right.
he just wanted to be protected.
that is built on
then
I need a
just-
footstool.
They just banged heads too much, and now
Yeah.
they got to get rid of each other.
yeah.
It's funny if you ever look at look at national numbers for like marriages and divorces and stuff. We're on like the fucking worst part ever, man. Oh,
Like
at this,
timeline or like America as a country, or what are you referring
on
to?
the timeline, basically,
Oh, yeah,
every country is gonna have a
have you
a
not
massive
realized-
drop in population.
Have you not realized, like, I'm gonna sound like freaking Alex Jones here for a second, but mainstream media has been pushing this idea that family values, fuck family values, that don't mean shit. You're a woman. Oh, okay, you don't need to have a father. Government will help you out. You're a strong, independent woman. You don't need no help from anyone but the government.
Yeah, and
It's
I mean,
like deadbeat dad.
it's
Okay, we're
it's
gonna
a
take
win
all his
and
money.
lose.
We'll take care of this.
It's a win and lose because now like people don't want to have kids or anything like that, and
Right. People don't want labels. Oh, I don't want to have a label. Let's just, we
it's
don't need
funny
labels.
because then
We don't want kids. We don't want to get married. Don't want to get married. If you've been together for like 9 fucking years and you're not married, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, you're losing out.
Yeah.
you could benefit greatly from being married.
Yeah.
And a lot
Well,
don't,
no,
don't
I'm-
other
I'm
states
more-
still do common law?
Yeah. I mean, New
Yeah.
York State does that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do
Oh.
that.
Oh.
But no, I mean, in this aspect, I'd say I'm traditionalist. But I think, hey, if you're living with someone, you're doing all this, you should get married. If you're happy together, you've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of legal drawbacks to being married. Between taxes and freaking divorce, the cost of divorce, the after effects of divorce. And again, considering, we're in a nation with about 50% divorce rate.
Yeah.
So you got a 50-50 chance of, fuck, there goes all my money in a couple of years.
Yeah, and then the kids are involved and everything. But
Right.
if you also look at it like,
But again, I
it
feel like
almost,
this is a hostile environment towards marriage, which has been fostered by media. The media and the government, which has been right there side by side with it, being like, yeah, we'll reinforce that.
I love how so we've run into this situation where we're naming media as a entity,
Right.
but it's not. It's just fellow Americans and other people that are just like, oh, this is what I like, so this is what I'm going to push on the public. And that I think we really need to stop looking at it like that. We need to give these entities a fucking actual person.
It is behaving as an entity, though. It's not like behaving as a mass collection of like-minded individuals. It's behaving as a hive-mind entity.
But that's like-minded individuals that want to push their subjects.
Okay,
correct?
well, what would be your definitive difference between an entity
and just
versus the individual?
Individuals? So
I'm saying the media. I mean the media in general. I'm specifically talking about left-leaning mainstream media.
But it takes. So it takes. I heard a dog.
Rough.
But it takes multiple people to make these things, like the
Right.
videos and the commercials and whatnot.
Right.
And all of those people have to agree with what they're making.
Yeah, but they can also be coerced.
That doesn't fucking matter. They know what they're fucking making.
Yeah.
They know what the end product, what they want as an end product. So these people have to take their time and put that into this project.
Right.
So they're
they're co-signing it, certainly. Yeah.
Yes. So if they're able to actually put aside their personal agendas or whatever you want to say to make this money, then they are identifying with that certain subject. They're putting their time and effort into that subject, so they should be held accountable for it. I don't care if later on they're like, oh, I didn't know that it was going to be set up this way. And it's like, excuse me, you're the one that photoshopped out her thighs. What the fuck are you talking about?
I want to give you an example and see, how this does or does not, mesh up with what you're saying. Like, for example, when Trump got out of the whole Paris Treaty as far as regulations on, greenhouse gas, emissions and everything, got out of that. The specific one I want to go with is CNN. Covered that for about a day and a half. CEO walks in and they're doing their meeting and everything, says, hey, you guys, you've been doing a great job. Good job covering this. We're done with this. Go back to the Russian thing. This is a serious thing. Like, I personally support Trump. Oh my God. Personally support Trump and a lot of the stuff he does. I think that was kind of stupid for him to back out of the Paris Agreement.
Yeah.
And CNN, who has been one of the biggest critics of Trump, after a day and a half said, forget this, we're going back to Russia.
Going back to Russia. Jesus Christ.
And what the CEO comes out and says that to you. What do you think the other guys in that room are going to say? No, that this is important. We're going to do this. Or their subordinates who are in the editing room or doing research and stuff. And they come down and say, hey, we're dropping this. We're going to focus back on Russia. Are they going to be like, no, this is stupid. This is real news right here. Or are they going to be like, oh, okay. At what point is it overpowers, or not overpowers, but overrides the individual's sensibilities?
But at the same time, when you're willing to sign on to a company and produce that work for that company, you're standing by that company. I don't care who you are or what you're doing, you are standing by that company. Mm-hmm. Now, if you didn't fucking agree with it, you left and you went to someone else and was like, hey, I have this. Yeah. I think we should try doing this. And you can get that company on your side of your story. then that's taking a hold and actually
It is, but
actually
most
producing
people
something
aren't
of your
going
own.
to do that.
Yes, I
And
understand,
even,
and
well,
that's
even
weak fucking minded.
well, no, then
If you're not
there's even
willing,
like no, there's the actual corrosion will go on. So okay, you leave a big media company like CNN and go something. Guess what they're gonna do? Oh, who do you work for? Bro? Oh, I work for CNN. Okay, let's see what CNN thought of you.
yeah, I guess. But at the same time, they're still standing by that company and doing the dirty
What
work
I'm
for
saying is
them.
whether or not they agree with the overall messages going out there, it I think it's definitely for at least some of the main media streams conceivable to think of it as an entity. Yes, it is made up of multiple individuals, whether they agree with it or not, whether or not they have the willpower to get out if they disagree.
I
It's
think
sort of besides the point at that point.
I think I think you have it a little confused on like what I actually meant.
Okay. All right.
So I'm saying this is us versus us. This isn't us versus the media. This is Americans versus Americans. This is well actually it's
Well,
Americans versus everybody right now.
well, I'm saying like, but the people who are within the media, who not like your lay person, your person operating the
Yeah.
camera or something like that, but like the people who run the company and decide which direction it's going and decide what the narrative is, they're in a position to basically make up what they want the people to believe. And when I say it's like Americans versus the media and stuff, it's not so much like okay, we got to fight against it, but more like they've been intentionally misleading us for so long. And I think it's been something that's going on for a long time. This isn't new stuff that's
Oh
just
no,
happened.
no, it's
But it's just realizing and be like, hey,
they have a name
we're
for
not
it.
just gonna follow you like the freaking Pied Piper over here. We're gonna figure out stuff on our own, and we're getting sick and tired now that we know of it, of you telling us what to think and believe all the
Yeah,
time. And
yeah.
that's what
And at the
most
same time,
people mean when they say like other American people versus the media.
yeah.
It's a rebellion against that sort of mindset of just accepting whatever they say.
And it's kind of funny because like you have most of our population going over what 50 years old now. I think that's what it was. What the U.S.
I don't know
population.
one way or another to
So
say yay or nay on that.
so granted, a lot of people don't know too much from about technology, so they can't actually really source most information that they hear.
Yeah.
So they can't really dive into it and actually pull sources from these people, and that's one of their big problems is they're not getting good sources. J.K.
Rowling?
Rowling, yeah,
Did the
she
Harry Potter series.
yeah
Yeah.
she
Was doing some
she freaked
funny,
out.
some funny tweets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. About Trump and how he ignored that kid in the wheelchair,
Yeah.
but she just caught the wrong part of the video.
Yeah.
She didn't see the whole thing.
Oh, I get
But
it.
if
And I think
I feel like if that guy, so she went off of another person's tweet.
yeah.
Like she just
Well, again,
replied to
I don't
that
think this
tweet.
is any one group of people, but if you have a viewpoint and you find something that supports that viewpoint, you're less likely to be critical of it than
Yeah, but you
the
should
other.
really still dive into
I know,
it.
but I'm saying realistically, most
Yeah,
people
but
aren't.
people get up in arms real quick, and they're just like,
Oh
boom,
yeah.
this is the way I want it to go down, and
Oh
this
yeah.
is the way it's gonna go down. I found fire against this fucker, so let's take it on to the next level.
No, no, exactly.
And you know I'm a huge fan of Philip DeFranco. She did apologize. She apologized to the family, but she didn't apologize to Trump in
Yeah.
her
You know what
tweet.
I thought was specifically hilarious actually? And for anyone who actually follows this, this is a little bit of old news, but there was this GQ article basically where the guy like interviewed and kind of talked about all these people, these YouTube stars. Philip DeFranco was one of them, and pretty much every single one he denounced as an alt-right psychopath, including Philip DeFranco.
An alt right psychopath.
I mean,
What is
not in their own
alt-right?
words, but he was accusing them all of being alt right, of doing this, that, the other. Just doing this sensational stuff to gain views and everything.
So is that
Like you could probably look up
is that
GQ.
alternative right? Okay, alternative right. is a loosely defined far right.
And no,
Oh,
that is
okay.
not. That's actually untrue. That's another skewing.
I am on Wikipedia.
Yeah. You know,
See, this
it's
is
got
this is how
nothing.
much this is
Yeah.
how much I take any source like with a fucking grain of salt. I'm just like,
Yeah.
is that what
That's
that
like because
says?
literally first sentence says white nationalism with alt right,
I'm pretty
which
sure
isn't. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure nothing that I find on the interwebs now is 100%
Yeah.
correct. I mean, you could dive through like
It's like
scientific
it's a
papers and stuff and still find mistakes. And
right.
it's like this person can fucking he knows quantum mechanics,
Yeah.
but he spelt
They're like,
something wrong right here.
oh my god. No. I'd say look up GQ article and Philip DeFranco, and I'm sure it will pop up pretty
GQ.
quick. Yep.
GQ. If I could spell.
Come on, man.
Is there two L's?
No, this is pretty. I thought it was pretty interesting, just because like I actually watch and subscribe to a couple of the people who were in the article, so I actually know what their content is about. So when I read this article about, it, I'm like, what the hell is this?
No, probably not. I'm not seeing anything under GQ. But yeah, everyone is basically trying to make people feel like they're these racist bigots that don't deserve to have a voice, and that's what it comes down to. Like these people exercising their
And that's the point, that they're
their
trying
freedom
to
of
censor
speech
people.
and at the same time suffocate someone else's freedom of speech. And it's like, excuse me, isn't this what you're fighting for? Why can't I say fuck you?
Yeah. I know. Trust me,
I
it's
don't know.
pretty crazy.
Now they've got fucking general neutral schools in other countries and shit, and they're just fucking everybody up.
I saw this great post on Instagram that just made me laugh. I don't know if this was a genuine tweet from Donald Trump, but that's how it was posted. And it says, if the B in LGBTQ is bisexual, does that only mean there are two genders?
That's hilarious. Yeah, because it is bisexual. That's two people.
For those of you
So maybe
who aren't so good at their
maybe those
English.
individuals identify with being sexually attracted to only two
Only
genders.
male or female, not trans.
Well, no.
They're only
What if
attracted to
no?
males
What
and
if
females.
what if
Transsexuals are outside of their
what if
sexual.
what if they're attracted to trans and men? That's it. They are bisexual.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to go defining
Yeah.
gender that way.
I'm just saying if
we don't like labels, but we're gonna label everything, so it's clear.
oh man.
All right.
They should just make their emblem a space. Like space. So it's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Their symbol should be nothing. If they don't want to identify with fucking normal shit, then fine. Don't identify with anything. But it's just fucking people up, because then people don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they should be doing, and then they're trying to find this grand scheme that they're trying to fucking lay out for themselves. Like, oh well, I've always felt kind of sad inside, and maybe it's because that I'd like something else besides women. No, dude, it's called adulthood. You're fucking depressed. You're fucking working your ass off
like
to try to make a living.
Shut
the fuck
you're
up.
learning an important point. Life kind of fucking sucks.
Yes.
And I don't think I'm going to be able to find this right now.
Life sucks
Not
big
while
time.
we're doing this.
No.
All right.
So we got to start sourcing we should start sourcing just like
well, I mean, this was a hipfire episode, so it's kind of
yeah.
But
So
in the future we'll look this stuff up.
Do you have your Google account on your phone?
Yeah.
I'll make a text document before you leave. You'll give me your email, and I'll share that text document with you, and it'll allow us both to work on that text document throughout the week.
Okay, so we can plan out that way.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can just bounce off. So once a day, try to just check it and see if I added anything, and I'll check it once a day, see if you added anything, and it'll actually tell us when we're both working on it. It actually
Okay.
puts both of the cursors on the page. It's kind of weird.
Oh,
I did
that's
it with
interesting.
that one girl that was working on her personal training video,
Oh,
which I
cool.
still haven't finished. And I'm like,
Alright.
fuck, man, I need to finish this.
Yeah.
I need to finish this. But it's just hard, especially with the state my computer's in right now. Like working on anything takes triple the time that it would if I had like an actual good computer. So
What do you have that's not a good computer? I've never really looked at your system.
it's just a $600 Lenovo that I pulled off the shelves, like, but it's like 5 years old. It was $600
Okay.
5 years ago.
Okay, that
So
makes because
it's
I'm
got
like over here thinking, like recently thinking,
got-
I need to get a new computer, and you're like $600, and I'm looking at a $300 laptop.
yeah, but now that $300 laptop is probably better than that Lenovo, because that
Possibly.
sucker's it does have an i5 in it, but it has one of the slower i5s.
Yeah.
That's what you got to check. If it says i5, i3, i5, i7,
Yeah.
you have to check and see what the rating is on it, because I think that's like
I think because I've got to save up to do this, but I'm wanting to get a computer. I'd like you to come with me just to know what the fuck I'm actually
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
for like
because
what
a
it's
laptop
able to do.
a laptop would serve you the best.
Yeah,
And,
because what
have
I
you-
really need to do is I'm going to try to go back to college and everything, and they've got a plastics engineering degree. I can get right up there with CCC. We want
Yeah.
to try to do as much of it online as possible, but
I'm
like, have a
finding
laptop in
I'm
order
finding
to do
that the degree doesn't fucking matter. You just
It's-
have to have something.
Well, yeah, I know, but specifically, it's going to be useful for me because again,
Oh
like I
yeah,
said, this is
because
something
you're
really
working
interested
in it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying like if you try
Right,
to,
it really
if,
doesn't matter
if you try
what
to
you
venture
have.
into a new field, they're just
No.
like, oh, you have a 4 year, awesome, cool, good,
Yeah, no, exactly,
good,
and
you're
that's
hired.
that kind of that I think we touched on this
Yeah,
before.
yeah, we did.
But that pisses me off so much because you need the specialized education and the certified training. Oh, okay, you got a degree, cool. Well, don't you want to know what it's in? No, that's fine, that's fine. You've got a degree. That's all we need.
Yeah, but at the
It's
same
like
time,
it's like getting your job license. Hey, you want to get a job? Get your job license over here. It's only about $20,000 a year.
yeah.
If you go to a cheap one, you can get the high grade one for a little bit
Yeah.
more.
And then you run into all these people that are like, I can't afford college. I'm like, fucking go to the army for 3 years. You'll fucking get free college. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do that. I have too many responsibilities back here. I'm like, guess what? You get more fucking money if you have a family.
Or the funnier part, oh, I can't do that. I'd knock the dress sergeant out.
No, he will tie you up and throw you down the stairs, you little bitch.
It's like, maybe not now, but you sure as fuck ain't knocking him out. It's like, you lay hands on him, case is going to go his way, and he's going to tie you in a fucking knot.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna
It's
be
like,
you're gonna be stuck
now
in the army for the rest of your life.
They might wait for you to swing on them, and then you're fucked.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because then you get into the whole realm of like self-defense and stuff, and then
No, exactly.
then you have an entire platoon of fucking privates against one sergeant, and you're like, come on, why are you gonna believe these privates over me? And then they're like, because they're telling the truth, and you're like, oh fuck, this backfired. Abort.
Well, no, that's
Abort.
that's what I'm saying. Like now, they might be like, okay, well, I'll just wait for the predator to swing on me, and then I'll fuck them up because self-defense.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times it doesn't work unless that guy is shitty and the entire platoon believes he is.
Usually,
shitty.
it's going to be that
But if
shitbag that's
it's-
catching that,
if
though,
it's-
or that's pulling those.
If it's
Do
a
you know
shitty
anyone?
sergeant,
Do you know
though-
anyone who's not a shitbag who says, "Well, if he gets in my face, I'm going to knock him out"?
No, I haven't I haven't met anybody that wasn't a fucking douchebag. It's like, no, you're not. I know you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
You're not gonna knock
like
anybody
those
out.
kind of go hand in hand. Douchebag thinking you're going to knock the DS out.
Yeah. No, you're not.
No.
No, you're not. You're gonna get hurt. You're
Yeah.
gonna get hurt pretty bad because that guy's been doing fucking combatives for the last 5 years of his life, beating the shit out of a bunch of privates.
And it's like he's either here because he wants to be, and yeah, he's gonna be like that dude, or he's here because he doesn't want to be, and he's just waiting for a reason to vent his frustration on you.
That is an excellent example of like so the quiet ones that are just like they don't fucking show any reason for being there or anything. Those are the ones you need to fear
because when
they're
they snap,
just waiting. They're planning this shit out in their head fucking months, years. They haven't opened their mouth about it because they want to be fucking. They want to surprise you.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I've met so many people now that like they kind of try to like beat around the bush talking about when they went into the army, but they actually just got kicked out, and they're trying to like make up all
Like
these
in
excuses.
basic,
Yeah, I mean
um,
either basic
and
or
just in general,
in
got
general,
dishonorable
and
or
you can
less than
tell when they're
honorable.
beating around the bush, like
Yeah.
so you pissed hot. That's what you're telling me. You fucking pissed
It's
hot,
like you got
or
out for something stupid as
yeah,
fuck.
yeah, like you
And
didn't
the
go to
thing,
PT for 5 weeks.
the thing
Yeah,
is,
they're
like
gonna kick you
pissing
out.
hot doesn't even get you kicked out anymore. It's like you get like an Article 15 or something.
Well, after
And
you do it a couple times.
well, if you do it a couple times, you're a
Yeah,
fucking dumbass.
yeah. So like,
It's not like, okay, I was smoking once in a while. Oh, I got caught.
so I
It's
mean,
like
I
you're wake and
understand
bake
that.
in the room before PT.
I understand that it's a good thing to give people a second chance. You know, everybody deserves a
Oh,
second
yeah,
chance.
yeah.
So even in the private sector, you can piss hot, but they have to allow you a chance to go to get
Like,
help.
yeah, if you say you have a problem, if you say you have an addiction,
Yeah, if
yeah,
even if you tell them afterwards, they still have to give you an opportunity to
get
get
help.
clean,
Yeah,
and then they'll test you at a later date. And if you're good, you're good.
yeah,
You're subject to minor negative drawbacks, like in the army, you lose rank and
yeah,
you lose money. So they're like, we're gonna punish you because you should be punished, but we're not gonna kick you out.
yeah,
We're gonna give you another chance. In 2 years, you could be a fucking sergeant again.
yeah.
And that's the reality to it. Like if you knuckle down, just like I was saying, you fucking give some shit up to fucking really buckle down and get on something.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna make strides that you never thought you could. Like I don't do jack shit. I sit in this apartment. I fucking build shit. I work on shit,
Yeah.
and I've made so much like potential in such a short time. This year and a half. I've I never thought I'd be able to do any of this.
And I'm just over here like, man, I haven't done anything for so long, but I'm finally getting my shit together. I'm doing a lot of the stuff that I really like to do. I'm not over here like, yeah, I'm freaking getting my shit together at work. My shit's handled at work.
Fuck that. I'm
It's like,
six.
I'm getting ready to go to college. Oh, I'll get to that when I get to that.
I'm fucking. I
It's
feel like a.
new fish tank.
I feel like fuck. Who was that song? I'm 6 feet from the edge,
I don't know.
and I'm starting to think 6 feet isn't so far
Yeah.
down. I'm like sitting in this apartment, like trying to force feed myself all of this code and shit, and I'm like,
Dude, I'm so
my roof
pissed.
is about 2 stories high.
Not high enough.
Not high enough. I'd have to go downtown. Fuck that. I'm not walking that far.
No, my thing is like I'm a pretty lazy dude. Like I'll do my stuff at work and everything. When I get home on my time, I tend to go for the lazy shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's hard to.
I met someone I've been hanging out with down at the apartments and everything, and we got a lot in common. They're a little bit younger than me, but not like
Yeah.
so young it's weird.
Yeah.
But they do so much of nothing.
Yeah.
Like their work, they work at a family business, and they usually get out between 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
They will then go down to the pool area, not actually get in the pool, but go to the swing sets next to it and just sit there until 9 o'clock at night.
I don't know how people can do that. So
Like I'll go there, like because like outside of that, we got a lot in common. We like a lot of the same stuff. You know, we'll shoot back and forth, talk and shoot the shit.
but there's just
And then I'll
no
go over there to hang
motivation.
out, and I'm like, this is just what you're doing all day. You want to hang out here at the fucking swing set? Are you shitting me? Are you not an adult?
Like go do
Yeah.
something.
And I'll be like, hey, like I'll find any reason. Be like, looks like it's gonna rain. Let's get the fuck out of here and go to my place and hang out.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no. Well, let's see what happens. It might pass. I'm like, fuck you. What is so important about this place?
Their big thought of the day was, is it gonna rain? I don't know. Let's see.
Like, like literally the other day, I was over there. I'm like, hey, you wanna come over and hang out at my place instead of just sitting here? It looks like it's gonna rain any second. Pull the phone. Well, it says it's not gonna rain for like the next 2 hours or something, so we should be good. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. I turn my back. I'm not even 2 minutes down the road, and it starts monsoon pouring.
Oh shit.
I'm like, fuck you. Come on,
Your
man.
fucking app is wrong.
I was saying, I like texted Larry. I'm
I
like,
really,
believe your eyes, not the weatherman's lies.
I really do that. I have to check out all of my windows before I head out for work because I want to make sure that like I'm not gonna get halfway there and get dumped on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you can judge a good fucking 30-minute window
Oh yeah, enough to
just
get
by
to work.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just by
Usually.
looking out.
And even then, like
And
you can tell
people,
if it's going to change quick because you get like all the wind and everything.
oh yeah. But like people like rely on these apps to tell them, and it's like
It's like that
it's
might
like
tell you when
they're
you expect a
wrong.
big group.
Yeah.
But you could get poured on at any moment.
Yeah, and there's usually like a half hour to hour window that they don't they just
they
can't
don't.
figure out. They're just like it might happen around this time, but then again, nature is random and does what it wants.
Yep.
So it's like it could shift, it could not.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know. The radars do give
like,
you a good
right.
idea,
It
though.
gives you an idea of what to
Yeah.
expect, but not a certainty. It's educated guesswork. Educated, but guesswork.
Such a huge computer fucking compiles that data.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the size
It's
of
like,
the fucking server rooms for those? For like the Doppler radars
Yeah, I've
and
seen
stuff?
some pictures and stuff. It's crazy.
Oh my god,
And
so much processing
and
power.
it's so much processing again for educated guesswork.
Yeah. Like this isn't anywhere near exact. We're just guessing.
Yeah.
We're just guessing.
And it's like if you wanted to go like super low budget, you know what might be almost as effective? Set up a system of radio towers and everything so people can communicate, and then like at certain intervals you get a freaking hot air balloon, go up with a pair of binoculars, look around, and then have everyone radio in. Okay, this is what we got over here.
That's how we did it in the
It's like-
1940s, people.
Exactly, but like
Hot air balloons and
it's like, oh, it's raining, we didn't get up, it's pretty bad.
telephones. They probably had the What is that called? Morse code?
Yep, Morse code.
What were those machines called?
Fuck if I know. Morse code machines.
Morse code machines.
A telegraph?
Was,
No.
I think you're right.
You think
What
so?
was used
I might be right, but it's a
to
complete guess.
produce
Morse code.
Morse
I see.
code. Meh. No.
Nope. Does it say? What is it?
Morse code. I think you're right though. It was like a telegraph.
I mean, I think so, but again, not 100%. That would just confuse the shit out of me trying to listen to that and
to
discern.
Morse code.
Yeah.
How many times did they repeat the message?
That's the thing. Like, do they have like a specific thing? Like, this is the end of the message. Like, whatever.
No, but you almost produced the same sound for one because it's dit 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 dit. You were one little bit off. Oh wait, no, you produced zero. That's what you just said in Morse code.
And that's the thing that kills me is, I mean, at least in the movies and TV and shit, they're always going so fast. Like, wait, is that the end of that letter, or are you on the next one now? What the fuck?
Well, that's why they had like telegraph
Like,
professionals.
who are trained, and this is
Yeah.
their shit. But yeah,
That's funny.
still, like,
SOS is pretty easy. That's just 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. I'd never be able to remember that though. I'm gonna be stuck on a
T is just
stranded
one
island.
short one. Super easy, T.
I'm gonna be stranded on an island like miles away from the shore. Like I could see it, but I know I can't swim that. So I'm like, how do you do SOS again? Oh fuck. Because you send out smoke signals. you know?
Right. Or like flash a mirror or something.
Yeah. Flash a mirror. Where the fuck am I gonna get a mirror on?
Or
Like
a
a-
glass.
I could-
If you
I could probably-
crashed something, you could probably get glass or something else.
Yeah. And find something shiny, put it on the back of it. You could do something.
Yeah.
You could do something. Have you ever heard of a parabolic mirror? It's
Hyperbolic time travel?
No, parabolic mirror. So it's a
Concave?
yeah, it's concaved, and so light is brought into the mirror, and then when it bounces off at a certain point, it all converges, and that's the hot spot. So it's like a reverse magnifying glass.
Oh, so that's how you're going to burn the fuck out of shit.
yeah, it's cool, dude. dude, that little point lights up fucking anything. It's
Dude, it
awesome.
gets
It's
so
awesome.
hot too. I've seen like some YouTube experiments and stuff where it gets stupidly hot
Yeah.
at that point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're
It's like,
lighting
oh,
anything
it's
on fire.
85, 90 degrees out.
500 degrees right there, buddy.
Jesus. Like in
Woo!
seconds too. It's
Yeah.
quick.
Actually, it might be higher than that.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot higher than
Yeah.
500 degrees.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you get a good
Parabolic mirror. Yeah,
hyperbolic time chamber. It's just every time you say that, that's what I'm thinking of.
Parabolic mirror. Yep. It's just concave. I don't see anything that's gonna give me. I
Yeah.
hate going to Wiki because I'm like, this shit's not fucking correct. Come on. But they use it for a lot of things, man.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. And then they give you the formula for it. Yay, math. Yay, math. That was the hardest part, was like, so you had to find these like thing called foci, and I could never remember the difference between the foci and the directives off of a parabola.
Yep.
And I'm just like, my brain. Oh fuck.
I was like, I actually wasn't looking crazy at you because I kind of understood half of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm following.
That's like
this.
the easier stuff when you're working with ellipses and stuff like that. But
quagmires and
yeah,
quasars,
quarks,
yeah,
quarks are. You watched Cosmos, right?
Yeah.
That was.
It's like, what is it? The
was
current smallest subatomic particle or something like that?
Yeah, it's given off by the sun. It actually, I think there's like something like 1 million of them or something, 1 billion of them pass through 1 square inch of our skin a second or something like that.
Yeah.
And they
so
use that.
I mean, that's great to think of.
Yeah, we're just being fucking mutilated. But at the same time,
I mean,
we're not, because they're so small that they're passing
that's like
through
so
our
crazy,
atoms.
though. Like just the thought. Imagine if you could just see this wave of these.
Yeah.
Like
you'd be in another
it passes
dimension.
through us. Your apartment's not stopping anything really.
No,
it's just
actually, if
maybe
if we lost those things
straight through the Earth, you think? I mean, it gets pretty dense.
I guess they slow down or something. That's how they stop them. They stop them in those underground. They're just giant holes with water in them, and then they electrify the water, and they can stop them, and that's how they found them. That's how they observe them.
That's super cool.
I don't know any of the science behind it, but I'm like, a giant hole with water? Fuck yeah.
That's
that
how I
thing's
solve
huge.
most of my problems.
That is fucking huge. They're like these things that we can't see with our eyes. We're able to study them in this giant hole.
That's crazy. It's like what is it? I want to say atomic physics, but it's like smaller than that. Quantum physics. That's what it is. Is like for the absolute smallest molecular structures. That is just absolutely insane, honestly. Like, how much do they pick up, honestly, off of very little information they're able to glean with the instruments we have? Like, we're able to get quite a bit.
We've never seen the atom.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're like gleaning a lot of information off of imprecise measurements.
Yeah, I watched this. I knew it was going to end up being an ad. They were talking about like their studies and whatnot, and they went into like the math behind the 8th dimension. They were talking a bunch of stuff that like I was starting to learn, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. That's interesting. But then by the end of it, they're like, go support our Patreon page, and I'm like, fucking Jesus Christ! If you never mentioned to go there and donate money, I would have looked into this a little bit more, and I would have donated you money.
Well, I mean,
but then
that's
at
like
the same time,
that's like a normal
like,
thing now. No, for most places, especially since like
it just bothers me.
Yeah,
it bothers me that like
well, like because
they're not
YouTube and a lot of other
producing
places
anything.
are they aren't.
Are
they doing
research?
research?
They're producing research, but I mean, so do what everyone else is doing. Like, give me something to work with. Give me something for donating to you.
Yeah,
and that's how
Well, again, like if it's a scientific venture and everything, and they're doing research and stuff, that just means they couldn't get government funding. They couldn't get private funding from an individual, so they're trying to get private funding from everyone. That's like, I mean, in its own way, it's similar to the demonetization of YouTube, where they say to certain people, "Hey, yeah, we aren't going to have advertisers or certain advertisers on your page anymore. So, and then other
Well,
people
see,
lose out.
there was an ad on the video, and then the video itself was an ad, and it was
There's an ad within an ad within an ad.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was weird.
I guess that would be upsetting.
But the whole video was actually very educational, and they boiled what everything comes down to, and that's the golden ratio. We see it in everything. You can actually get the formula for the golden ratio by looking at an owl's eye. It's made in the way of the golden ratio. Have you ever seen the golden ratio?
No, I haven't. I was waiting for you to get into explaining that. I'm like, okay, all right, hot shot.
I'll let whoever's watching this actually just look
Do
it
we
up.
actually
Look up.
have anyone?
I don't know. I haven't checked because it makes me very sad when I only see one, and I know it's this
I
computer
don't.
watching it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think last time we didn't get anyone.
No,
First time we got one person. I think.
it doesn't fucking matter. Like anyone wants to know our opinion on anything, anyways, because I don't want to hear theirs.
Mm.
Hopefully, they'll comment the shit out of this video now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fucking bitch at me. Go ahead. At this point, I don't care. I'm doing such hard work to get this stuff up and running that I'm just like, I'm going to do it anyways because this is what I enjoy.
Yeah, no, and it's cool.
If you want to enjoy bitching, go ahead, man. I love it. I fucking love it.
All right, let's look this up, and I'm probably gonna have to cut out pretty soon here.
Yeah, this will be the last thing that we look at.
Okay.
So the golden ratio is 1.61803398875.
This is just a guess, but it almost looks like half a pie. It's a little more than half. Okay, all right.
See, it's more of an arch.
That inward spiral.
Yeah, and it just keeps going. Actually, most logos. Oh Jesus, they did it to Trump's ear.
To his hair. That hair.
He's got a seashell on his head. Oh fuck. But yeah, you can actually base a lot of stuff off of this. Some of the best ads that you see are based off of the golden ratio. Twitter, the Twitter bird was made with the golden ratio.
Huh.
So all of the shapes are
the golden ratio.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, Apple is based off of the golden ratio. It's just taking a bunch of the pieces and bending them to fit the angles produced by a single golden ratio template. I actually tried producing a logo a little bit ago for these kids over in Seneca Falls for their skate team.
I like this. As you were saying that, golden ratio, design's biggest myth.
Biggest myth.
As you're like,
a ton of people fucking use it. Okay. Yeah, it's a myth. Sure. It actually, I really think it makes stuff look good. It makes it look very.
It might be like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, because everything has to be relatively close to equaling itself, right? I think it should.
Close to equaling itself?
I don't know.
Do you know what you're talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Okay.
I pulled that one out of my ass.
know. I was willing to go with it so long, but I'm like, hold up, I just smelt some bullshit real quick.
No, I have no fucking idea. But I like it.
I mean,
I like
the concept.
I've used it
as abstract as we know is cool.
Well, so isn't the rule of fourth or thirds, the rule of thirds. Have you
I know about the Sith rule of 2.
The Sith rule of 2? What is that?
There can only be 2, the master and the apprentice.
Oh, that's the Sith's rule, huh?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because anything beyond that, there's infighting. It's the master's rule to impart knowledge upon the apprentice rule to become strong enough to overcome his master.
Why do you know this so well?
I'm a huge fucking geek. Huge
Holy
fucking geek.
Shit. You are Sith. You are. Look at that. You got it going on.
Have you ever heard the tale of Darth Pelagius the Wise?
No. No.
It's a meme. Look it up.
Oh Jesus! Somebody called me a name from like some biblical passage about this guy that had his strength was held within his long hair.
Yeah,
and then he lost
Samson or something.
Yeah, Samson. Yeah. Someone called me Samson the other day, and I'm like,
yeah,
let me talk to Samson. Fly me to the moon like a bitch I was granting.
Yeah, and basically there was this chick who like his enemies were like, hey, go screw with this guy, figure out why he's so strong, and deal with it.
Yeah, and she
cut his hair and
fucking cut his hair off, and then he was weak and blah blah blah. We all
And
know
that tells
we
you
all
what-
know the moral of that story.
don't trust bitches.
Can't make a whole housewife. Come on now. This is the rule of thirds. So when you pull up that little focus, focus
okay. All right. It's a
over your
photography thing.
camera, yeah. So like these
Alright.
are the main focal points and whatnot, and you
Yeah.
should always have the main focal point of your
In the central.
your composition.
Well, like what about like that? Because that's not in the central.
So you can also have lines that follow the actual line. So he's falling on the
On that left line there.
yeah, the left vertical. Yeah, left vertical line.
I
I'm like,
remember vertical.
horizontal.
I remember vertical and horizontal for the worst reason that I learned back in like freaking middle school or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember the reason for vertical, but horizontal is because a whore is gonna lay down.
Oh Jesus, are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, that's literally.
That's fucked up.
The funny thing is,
I remember
it was another
vertical-
female student that taught me this, which is ironic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I remember vertical because of vert.
Yeah.
I'm like
I
skateboarding.
mean, you're skateboarding. Yeah.
Vert.
Vert, man.
Yeah, hang ten, brother. I had this like
And I'm
crazy.
just-
I had this
You're over here like vert. Yeah, I'm like horse.
horse. Fuck. I had this crazy crackhead lady yesterday ask me if I was from fucking California. She's like, "Hey, how long you been skateboarding?" And I'm like, "I thought you were just a nice old lady, but then you opened your mouth."
You're
And I'm like,
crackhead.
"Oh my god!"
Mm.
And like, I just jumped off my skateboard because it's a hill. It's going
And now
uphill.
you should get back on your skateboard and get the fuck out of
I
Dodge.
slammed my fucking board down so quick and fucking pushed my ass up that hill. I'm like, "Oh my god, get me the fuck out of here!" Yeah, but a lot of times you actually produce the rule of thirds without even knowing it.
All right.
A lot of times when you take pictures and you try to frame them correctly,
Mm-hmm.
your eye goes towards the most aesthetically pleasing composition, so you end up doing it yourself.
Well, like this example here, how does that follow the rule of thirds?
So
Specifically.
the horizon line is directly down the center,
Okay.
and then you have the main focus point of the above the horizon line is the mountains, and that's fallen in the general middle, and then you're bringing more attention to the waves.
My only issue with this is it works as a rule because literally almost anything could fall within that.
Oh yeah,
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is it in the middle? Rule of thirds. Is it off to the side? Rule of thirds. Up top? Rule of thirds. It
yeah.
could, like
but
it
if-
literally be
if-
anywhere
if
on the
you were-
camera and
if
be
you
like,
were
yeah.
to take that tree and then put it way over here into the corner, it would just look off.
Well,
it would.
Yeah, but it's also because the tree is the focal point and you've got it at the very edge of your picture.
Who knows if he wanted that to be the focal point? He might have wanted that mountain to be. He might have wanted the horizon line to be the focal point. My point is like there is some actual like human pleasure that goes into this.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well, what I'm
it's-
saying is like, I
it's
mean,
aesthetically
yeah,
pleasing.
it's definitely a rule. I just think it's a rule because of obvious reasons.
well, I
like-
mean, it's not so obvious. It's literally because we think it looks good. Like
Right.
we are more comfortable with her eyes.
I'm not comfortable with her eyes
I'm not-
whatsoever.
I'm not
Are
comfortable
you?
with her eyes at all. But
Like, I mean,
think,
they match.
I think they had her like open her eyes way open,
Oh,
so
yeah.
they could prove a point. They're
Well,
lining up.
They matched the rule of third, but she looks freaking insane. Like she's gonna kill someone.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's cool. A lot of times you center the eye on one of the focal points, and
Or- And like some cameras will have that on there too
Yeah.
for the display. They'll pop that
Yep.
up so you can line up properly.
Yep.
That's
it
pretty
just looks better. I follow it as much as I can.
cool. All right.
But then on the other hand, I kind of suck at all this stuff still. So
You
So I
know,
try my
progress.
best.
Progress
I
is
try
being
my
made.
best. All right, man. So let's call it quits at that.
All right.
We'll
had a
call it
good
on,
run today.
Follow rules because they're rules for no fucking reason.
Yep. And say if there's a rule,
Make sure you break it right the first time. Break it
right
right
away.
the first time.
And it's like you have to just show the rule who's boss.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, you have to
And
show
then-
people you know how to fucking really break it.
In fact, go out there and break some rules today.
in a
But
general
don't
good
mention
idea.
us. We didn't tell you to do that.
We are not taking any responsibility for any
No.
rules that you break.
No names.
We're saying
don't be a
like
snitch.
break kind of like moral quote. Nah, I don't
mean,
want to
whatever
say.
you're comfortable with.
Yeah,
You know,
whatever.
Just break the rules. Just don't mention my name.
Make sure you get further in life from breaking them, though. We don't want you going backwards. Don't fucking get thrown in jail. Whatever.
Yeah, well,
we're
you.
Done. We're done.
Whatever
We're
you want to
fucking
do,
done.
but
Don't break any rules.
just-
Don't blame it on us. We'll
no,
see you.
break all the rules.
We'll see you next week.
break all the rules.
Have a good fucking weekend. Be excellent to each other.